The Minnesota Vikings will host the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football for Week 8. Both teams are coming off of a bye week, and the Dallas Cowboys are a team you want to play at home, so it's good to have this team to play at home, but not a team you want to play on primetime because they're very used to playing on primetime. Dallas Cowboys, one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, a 5-1 record, winning 5 straight games. Minnesota Vikings will host the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football at 7:20 Central Time. This will be on NBC, and the Dallas Cowboys right now are 2.5-point favorites in this matchup. The Minnesota Vikings and Dallas Cowboys. This is a rivalry that's no one really talks about. I mean, it's kind of that rivalry that's not within your division, so they don't play every year, but it's something that kind of like how I said with the Seattle Seahawks, where they do play every year. I mean, it feels like we play the Dallas Cowboys every year. We played them the last 2 years, and it seems to always be a close game. If you take a look at the history between the Minnesota Vikings and Dallas Cowboys, I have it right here with the last 5 games. If you're watching on YouTube, the last 5 games for the Minnesota Vikings in the 2010s that we've played the Cowboys have all been within 4 points. And it's been pretty split down the middle. I believe in the last the last decade that the Vikings have played the Cowboys. Out of the 5 games, I think it's like 3-5 Dallas Cowboys, or 3-2, and Dallas Cowboys have the edge on that. And hopefully after this week, it'll be 3-3. But out of the last couple times we played the Dallas Cowboys, it was heartbreaking losses. I mean, well, one of them we won. We won at their home stadium on prime time as well, which beating the Cowboys in prime time. Great job, and that was Kirk Cousins who led us to a victory there, and really Dalvin Cook is the reason why we won that game as well. Now, if we're taking a look at the Vikings injury report, it's nice. This was the perfectly timed bye week for the Minnesota Vikings because we had a lot of injuries. These players needed to rest, and it's nice going into this where we only have a short list here. I mean, if you remember on the other previews, it'd be a long list of injuries for the Vikings. To see just 4 players here, big sigh of relief. Starting off with Michael Pierce. Now, Michael Pierce did not practice once again with an elbow injury. Big loss in this Vikings defense because especially going up against the Cowboys, which have a great 1-2 punch in Zeke and Tony Pollard, seeing Michael Pierce out, who's one of the best run stoppers in the NFL, should be one of the best run stoppers in the NFL, seeing him out, big loss, and you want to see him play. Hopefully he can play, but he is questionable as of right now. Likely doesn't look very likely that he will play, but again, you can have Sheldon Richardson in there. You can play Dalvin Tomlinson as a nose tackle. I mean, he's built like a nose tackle playing the 3 tech. You can play him at the nose tackle and throw Sheldon Richardson into the 3 tech. So this is not a game-changing loss right here, but is one that we would not like to see. But Dede Westbrook also did not practice with an ankle injury. Dede Westbrook, a player that's secretly he's been getting a lot of prime time, or a lot of play time when it comes to a wide receiver number 4. Obviously, we have one of the best wide receiver trios in the NFL, maybe the second best wide receiver trio in the NFL, and Dallas Cowboys also have a great one. But taking a look at it, Dede Westbrook has been that player who's been able to come into these 4 wide receiver sets, sometimes even 5 receiver sets, which is wild. That's usually on 4th, 3rd, and long. But seeing Dede Westbrook come in and get a little bit of play time is nice. And outside of Dede Westbrook, we might see a little bit of Amir Smith-Marset on the playing offensive snaps. And like I said, I believe there's going to be a lot more rookies playing, but hopefully he can play. As of right now, he is questionable. Anthony Barr was limited participant during Wednesday's practice with a knee injury. Once again, Anthony Barr's knee. I mean, is his knee ever healthy? I don't think so. I think the only reason why he was a limited participant is just because they didn't want to bang him up in practice. Anthony Barr will play because we need him to play. We can't have Nick Vigil and who would be our other, Blake Lynch, be our outside linebackers, or the guy from Eden Prairie being our outside linebackers. So we need Anthony Barr to be back and fully healthy with the Vikings. Even if he's not fully healthy, I mean, a 50% Anthony Barr is much better than having Blake Lynch or the Eden Prairie guy start at outside linebacker. Ben Ellefson, once again, was limited during Wednesday's practice with a knee or foot injury. It says Ben Ellefson, a tight end that really we don't need when you take a look at it. Ben Ellefson, he might have some blocking ability, but right now I don't understand why he's higher on the depth chart than Zach Davidson, our 5th-round draft pick, who's right now on our practice squad. I just don't understand that. He could also be our backup punter if you wanted that to, because he was a punter in college. So I don't understand why this player's even on our team in the first place. But again, he doesn't matter. He's not going to get much play time on top of that. So some notable Cowboys injuries. Cowboys, like I said, are also coming off of a bye, so their injury list is a little low. But Trevon Diggs and Dak Prescott, 2 big players in their team. And Trevon Diggs was 7 interceptions so far this season. Dak Prescott, I think he's 3rd. No, somewhere around 4th in the league in passing yards right now. I mean, he's also having a great year. After this bye week, he's probably not in the top 5 anymore, though. But both 2 big players on the team was both limited during Wednesday's practice and are expected to play. Even though they are questionable, they're expected to play this upcoming matchup. So, with that being said, Minnesota Vikings, Dallas Cowboys. This should be a thriller. Why do I say that? Because these are 2 of the best offenses in football. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys are the best offense in football. And it pains me to say that. I don't like the Cowboys. In fact, they're one of my least favorite teams in the NFL. I want to see the Vikings destroy them. But it's not going to happen. I mean, the Vikings can win. Vikings can, they can easily win. I mean, not easily. They're going to have to win off of offense alone. But you take a look at that Cowboys offense, there's no stopping them. With the Vikings defense that we have, we might have a great defensive coaching staff and some great defensive players, but Cowboys are scoring over 30 points on us. And it's just going to happen. As of right now, the Cowboys offense, first in yards, fifth in passing yards, second in rushing yards, first in points scored, fifth in third down completion percentage. So in the 5 major categories when it comes to offense, Cowboys are in the top 5 of all of them. And the 2 biggest categories, total yards and points, Cowboys are first. So they're the best offense in football. Why? Because you cannot make this offense one-dimensional. It just does not happen. They can beat you in the run. They can beat you in the pass. They can beat you however they want to beat you because they have that many playmakers on offense and now are completely loaded front, back, and center. And there's a new tight end guy, whatever his name, Dalton Schultz is also back. So they got a lot of playmakers on offense. And even without their tight end, I mean, Tony Pollard, Zeke in the backfield, like I said, one of the best 1-2 punches in the backfield. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, one of the best wide receiver sets. They also have this Cedric Wilson guy who's coming off, and then they have the dude coming off of IR as well right now. So front, back, and center, a total loaded offense. You know who is also a loaded offense, who has a lot of playmakers? The Minnesota Vikings, which is why this is such a good primetime matchup to have 2 teams who are just going to be having a shootout. I mean, really, it's going to be who can score the most points at this time. Because the Dallas Cowboys defense gets too much praise here. Because you can throw all over the Cowboys defense. You can. Trevon Diggs might have 7 interceptions in the first 6 weeks. Trevon Diggs, Stephon Diggs' little brother, might have 7 interceptions so far this season. But is also the 7th most targeted corner so far this season. For a reason. Because Justin Jefferson going up against him is going to create a lot of separation. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, 2 of the best route runners in the NFL, going up against Trevon Diggs, who is allowed how many 20-some interceptions so far this season, or receptions so far this season, should have a good day. Kirk Cousins should have a great day. Assuming that you can buy enough time for Kirk Cousins to go through at least 2 of his reads, the Vikings offense should absolutely go off. And this is why this game is, I'm so excited for this game. Not only did the Vikings just have a bye week, but they're hosting a red-hot Cowboys team, and this is going to really test our team. Because right now, the Minnesota Vikings, the 3 teams that we beat, don't look good. The Seahawks don't even look like a playoff team anymore. Even with Russell Wilson, don't even look like a playoff team. Now we're playing a Super Bowl contending team, a team that's in the playoff picture right now as, I think, the 3rd on the list still. I mean, that's because the NFC has some powerhouse teams right now. But take a look at it, though. The Minnesota Vikings hosting the Dallas Cowboys, a red-hot team. This is really going to test us. Are we competitive? Can we compete against playoff contending, Super Bowl contending teams? And this is going to really question that. Because so far this season, outside of the Arizona Cardinals, we should have beat the Arizona Cardinals. A lot of these teams' games I don't feel too comfortable with. And it hasn't really showed us that we're able to perform as much as we are. So you take a look at this Cowboys offense. I already went into how great of an offense this is. How about how bad of a defense we have been so far this season? Minnesota Vikings defense, 19th in total in yards allowed, 26th in rushing yards allowed, 12th in passing yards allowed, 13th in points allowed. The only good stat we have right now, the Minnesota Vikings are 2nd in third down conversion. And the only reason why the Vikings are 2nd in third down conversion is because we have an excellent pass rush when blitzing. I mean, Dallas Cowboys, when it's 3rd and long, 4th and long, that's when the Vikings defense has to step up, because that's when we can blitz and get to Dak Prescott with ease and be able to blitz him. And even without the blitz, I mean, we have Sheldon Richardson, a great pass rusher on the interior side of the line, Everson Griffin and Daniel Hunter off the edge as well. I mean, we should be able to rush the passer, and that's really the only highlight when it comes to this Vikings defense so far this season. Even on 3rd and short, I mean, Vikings have some big guys. Eric Kendricks can come up with a big time stop. Harrison Smith can also come with a big time stop. I mean, the Vikings defense, when it comes to coaching staff and a lot of great playmakers, have done a great job. But let's not dismiss the fact that we have allowed 130 rushing yards per game. Actually, as of I think the Carolina Panthers one might have dropped that down. So 124 rushing yards per game, if I remember that right. But again, you're going up against one of the best running back duos in the NFL with one of the worst run-stopping teams in the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings. So I believe there's 4 steps. If the Vikings are going to win this game, we can't make the same mistakes we made against the Bengals. We can't make the same mistakes we made against the Lions, especially. Vikings deserve to lose that Lions game. I'm sorry, they did. We can't make the same mistakes we made against them, and also even against the Carolina Panthers as well. So I believe there are 4 steps on how the Vikings can win this game. Starting with step number 1, and maybe the most important, all downs are passing downs. This is the Dallas Cowboys defense. You cannot be predictable. Clint Kubiak cannot come with the same performance he did against the Lions. He can't come with the same performance he did against the Panthers. All downs are passing downs. I don't care that you have Dalvin Cook. I understand Dalvin Cook is a great running back. I get that. But what I don't understand is why you continue to give it to Dalvin Cook on 1st and 10 when the defense knows exactly what you're going to do. Dalvin Cook is great. And I'm not saying don't feed Dalvin Cook, who's top 3 running back in the NFL. What I'm saying is don't be too predictable against a Cowboys defense that knows what they're doing. Against the Cowboys offense, where you're going to be trying to outscore the Dallas Cowboys, the best offense in football, you have to be able to be an explosive offense. When you have one of the best wide receiver trios, wide receiver tandems as a whole in the NFL, all downs are passing downs. And this is what the Minnesota Vikings cannot understand, is just the fact that 1st and 10, you're allowed to pass. You don't have to run every time. You don't have to run or do a screen pass on 1st and 10 every time. You can make big plays down the field. 2nd and 6, you also don't have to do a screen pass or a little, I'm not saying don't do screen passes. I'm saying you don't have to do this every time, or running on 2nd and 6 as well. I mean, 3rd and short, it's the same thing. You just know every time, me sitting down watching the Minnesota Vikings game, I know exactly what play they're going to run because they do the same thing every time. Far too predictable of an offense. And that is step number 1 to beating the Dallas Cowboys. If you want to beat them, you have to put up a lot of points on the board. This offense has to come with their best performance and be able to outscore what's said to be the best offense in football. Step 2, and this is another big one. Let's get loud, Vikings fans. The defense needs your help. If you are going to this Vikings game, please get loud, because the defense needs your help. They are going up against the best offense in football, who have been so far through the first 6 weeks. The best offense in football. The fans, this defense needs your help, fans. And if you can't go to the game, if you're a season ticket holder who can't go to the game, don't sell your tickets to Cowboys fans, okay? Because this can ruin us. There are too many Cowboys fans in the world right now, and they are looking to buy this Sunday Night Football game. There are Cowboys fans in Minnesota looking to buy it. So if you're going to sell your ticket to someone, make sure they're a Vikings fan first, because that is a game changer when it comes to this Vikings defense. They need the energy. This is a Sunday Night Football game, a primetime matchup in one of the loudest stadiums in football. Us fans need to come with their best, because this defense needs our help right now, and we have to get loud. Get as drunk as you can if you're going to the game, so you can be as loud as you can, because this is what the Vikings defense needs when you're going up against a Cowboys defense on primetime, which always plays in primetime. And this is our first primetime matchup in a couple of years with fans, so it's been a while since we've played them. But once again, I mean, Cowboys, we just need the Vikings defense just needs the help from the fans when it comes down to it. And then step number 3, offensive line. Offensive line for the Vikings has been okay. It's been acceptable. I mean, especially with Christian Darrisaw. I mean, Rashad Hill was the only part that was setting us back. Now Garrett Bradbury right now is, and that's, still can't understand that. But Rashad Hill was respectably the only part holding us back, which is why seeing Christian Darrisaw though going up against this Randy Gregory guy who's going to play in this matchup. I mean, he was a little bit questionable at first, but he was a full participant. Seeing him going up against him is going to be a little bit of a question mark, and it's going to really test Christian Darrisaw, our rookie, to see what he's able to do going up against one of the best defensive ends so far this season in the NFL. So it's going to be a bit of a question here. But I'm not just talking about protecting for Kirk Cousins here. I'm not just talking about trying to buy Kirk Cousins some time to make a play. I'm talking about those penalties. Offensive line, false starts, holdings, illegal formations. How are we getting illegal formations? You take a look at this though. Vikings offensive line so far this season have 19 penalties. The offensive line alone. This should not be a statistic. This should not be humanly possible. Oli Udoh has 7 penalties already this season. Minnesota Vikings offense are just shooting themselves in the foot, giving themselves poor field position time and time again when it comes to penalties. Oli Udoh, give him another shot. I mean, really, Wyatt Davis, you don't want to start a rookie. Obviously, you might want to rotate him in a little bit, but Wyatt Davis is playing for Oli Udoh's role right now. Hasn't been an awful guard, but still, 7 penalties in just 6 games. This should not be statistically, humanly possible. I mean, the Vikings offensive line last week was okay. Kirk Cousins wasn't sacked all game. He should have been sacked on that one play, but was able to weave his way out. He wasn't sacked all game, and the Vikings offensive line really shot themselves in the foot with the penalties, and this is what's been setting us back all season and the reason why we lost against the Bengals. Step number 4, and the final step, pass rush without blitzing. So far this season, it's no question the Vikings are a great pass rushing team. You have Everson Griffin and Danielle Hunter off the edge. Michael Pierce was able to get 2 sacks in the first week. I even said after the game, I don't think Michael Pierce is going to get another sack for the rest of the season. So far, I've been right. Dalvin Tomlinson, another player. These are mostly run stoppers, but Sheldon Richardson stepping on and on the inside, maybe even seeing a little Patrick Jones action there from the rookie. We need to be able to rush the passer without blitzing, because so far this season, we've been able to get to the passer with Eric Hendricks when blitzing him, even Nick Vigil blitzing him, Harrison Smith. I mean, these are players we've been able to rush the passer with. I'm not saying don't blitz. I'm saying on first and second down, to not just blitz every time. Because yes, you're going to be able to rush the passer, but you have no clue what this Cowboys offense is going to roll with. I mean, unlike the Vikings have a very predictable offense when it comes to play calling. The Cowboys are a completely different story. They can run whatever play they want, whenever they want, because they can win. They can beat our defense on many different cylinders. I mean, when it comes to passing, keeping the ball in the air, keeping the ball on the ground, whatever they want to do. We have to be able to rush the passer without blitzing when it comes to first and second down. Obviously, you can blitz on third and long. I mean, it's just what you're supposed to do. So that really wraps up the 4 steps for why I think what the Vikings will have to do if they want to win this game. And I am so stoked for this game. And again, I'll say it again, Vikings fans, if you are a season ticket holder, do not sell your ticket to Cowboys fans, because they are looking to buy tickets right now. Obviously, Cowboys fans, they're everywhere. Sunday Night Football, they're going to try to buy your ticket. Make sure it's a Vikings fan if you're going to sell it to them first, because we need the help from these fans. If you're going to the game, get as loud as you can. This is a primetime matchup at US Bank Stadium. I should not hear third down when the Cowboys offense is out there and being able to hear the little mic'd up right now. I should be able to hear only fans getting very loud. And this is what I want to see from this Vikings team, because we need the help from the fans if we want to be able to hold this Cowboys offense. With that being said, even with the help from the fans, are the Vikings going to be able to hold the Cowboys offense? I mean, as of right now, best offense in football through the first 6 weeks. And Vikings defense has been one of the worst defenses in football through the first 6 weeks. So this is really going to test us. I mean, it's a serious contender for the Super Bowl right now, off of one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Like I said, I've said that a few times, but this is really going to test us. Are the Vikings team as good as people have been saying? Now, right now, Vikings are 2 plays away, maybe even 3 plays away, could be 7-0 right now. But this fact is, we're 3-3. Vikings, this has to test us. Vikings right now are in the playoff picture, so they're technically a playoff team. You're going to be playing a playoff team, like a lockdown. They have their division locked down right now. Outside of the Cowboys, their division looks god awful, and they're gonna they're gonna come out the NFC East as probably second, third, fourth, somewhere in some seed, but are undoubtedly a playoff team right now. And this is gonna test the Vikings. How can we perform against a playoff team? That's what I'm hoping to see here. So as a whole, bold prediction of the week: Minnesota Vikings, Dallas Cowboys. This will be the highest scoring game of the week. 2 excellent offenses going up against below average defenses. I can't say the Vikings defense sucks, and I can't say that against the Cowboys defense either. I mean, Cowboys have been one of the best teams against the run so far this season, but you can pass all over them, which is why I'm saying all downs are passing downs here. This will be the highest scoring game of the week, and that is the bold prediction of the week. For the final prediction, Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings, like I said, high scoring game. Vikings, I'm going to predict they come up with a W here. They go 4-3 in the season after this game, and second in the division, locked down second in the division, as the Bears just will lose. But you take a look at this though: Minnesota Vikings, Dallas Cowboys. Minnesota 41, Dallas Cowboys 38. So a 3-point win over the Vikings on a Cowboys team that will score 38 points. So like I said, there's no stopping this Cowboys offense. And I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong here. This is one of the times I desperately hope I'm wrong, but still, the Dallas Cowboys scoring 38 points should be kind of expected when it comes to how you look at our Vikings defense, which without Patrick Peterson, I mean, Bashad Breeland and Amari Cooper, and then obviously CeeDee Lamb and the rest of these guys who are just going to light up our defense. But maybe with the help of fans, we can surprise them and hold them to under 30 points. That doesn't sound like I'm saying a whole lot, but Vikings defense so far this season has averaged, what is it, like 25 points per game, and some of the offenses that we have played, it should not be that high. So taking a look at this though, Cowboys, I am going to predict that the Vikings will beat the Cowboys with a 3-point win, scoring 41 points. a combined score of, if my math is right, 79 points. I mean, maybe one of the highest scoring games of this season, but a game in the 30s, I'd expect it to be in the 30s. It's a primetime matchup, two excellent offenses. Let me know what y'all think.